project and then maybe I'm a send on the shadi and then I 120 days and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na yaba bedin komo kakra yaba bedin komo kakra na yahwe hawa enema esifa ekono yaba bedin komo kakra na John Mahama number 8 na ade aba no ti nyabotre ale no da number 8 ni tiana eti now da number 8 ni tiana. Okay, it will show screen this one. First on the list, no. Where status of the President Mahama's 120 days social contract. Eti ni etiano no. Sir President Mahama, ebra ye to abama no year last year December 7. Owie ye woni yen eko eye entiasia pam bacho hweme bag nim na yi the hard copy no bra. Yi hard copy no bra na ye hade. Eti woni Ghana for call say we ene apamo a na fua mako eye oha ani aduonu no ha menemo ebeko oha ni aduonu no mene emo yeden ebeko na number 1 on the list no ye be hwe me pese odi no beba me pese odi no beba na fi ya hwe hawa ne masifati honom ti number 1 on the list no ma me hade okay ma me hade eti we the original enkrata wo me de bre yen na avoid that omo revise no yes this one no but unfortunately the revision one no ya nyabi eti ofa krata kitamia krata we ne kitame no the heading here Mahama's first 120 days social contract with the people of Ghana, resetting Ghana, jobs, accountability, and prosperity. Jobs, accountability, and prosperity. Eti na chese eno ene etira na edaso. Now first on the list no was say nominate within the first 14 days the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval. When you need aha eti eno na was no eti eno ene kitame no now niaba no nominate within the first okay so this is anyone in the nominate within the first 14 days complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval. Eno no eye baako eno no eti yebebisa ze ebaso na amaso yes eno no ya take no no next come taking green next come taking green next time no ya mo print ya de na mo consult ye ka di bi ya de red ataro bi na danger one colors no and I agree say you can say ade na so green just say no so green just say green means go e kwandam eti na just say near tie no. Now, okay, number 2 here, constitute the leanest and most efficient government under the Fourth Republic in my first 90 days in office. And then it talks about the numbers in terms of number of ministers, you know. Say, Obama appointees, and I say appointment obeying, you know, a kuma be bat, a bebojuma. And one brofo kakrakani na no and we know at the ketwa quality one kon quantity but do me say ketwa no bojuma pa ampa so far 156 ministers but I promise say 60 eti ye hwenim say 4 no fa meka ho yes 4 no de bomodin never 4 no akra e fa beka ho na ye hwa de. Okay, number 3, no yeah. Establish a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials. And a baso and rano. And a baso and rano. Eti anonso so echo. Hold number 4 no. Hold a national economic dialogue to discuss the through state of the economy and prepare a homegrown fiscal consolidation program to guide the budget. And also so Oma Yawie. Yes, Oma Hodi, the national dialogue no Oma Wie. And also, I don't know. Then, young queen, me had here. Within my first 90 days in office, scrap the following draconian taxes to alleviate hardships and ease the high cost of doing business. 1. E-levy, COVID levy, 10% levy on bet winnings, and emissions levy. Okay. No. But could be a welcome. I think the COVID levy is still in a year. Yes, COVID and then COE. Yeah, Ose. No, okay, but this one talks about my first 90 days. And so far, I know, sir, emissions levy is gone. I know, sir, e-levy is gone. I know, sir, betting tax is also gone. But COVID levy, I think, sir, still an our system. It won't check him out there. Because I've been told, sir, maybe I made the budget review, no. Maybe I do one more, but still in force. I'm for good so mutia. Eti more bontain, more port na dia de no. Eti utie show na. Ubeti me the message, Abba 0599922922. And so far, point number 5, bako ena na honona me share that yes, a holiday I know. Sir, we say no. Okay, so get me the video. Me and Ram the video be to a platform na so man. Check enra de na no. Time na or sent it to some bills no near share say COVID de no mo a. Na yen hwa de. Eti eno no ebe complete near ye hand because I see it to me verify. Nra me ma a video bi o honom yes. President Mahama video back bi. Enra me de to ho nti mame hwe si yebetimi abo wahu ana okay yebetimi abo o say your point number 5 COVID levy na ye do no ba COVID levy ni there enkoye yes COVID levy enkoye eti na ye person verify abana baba okay COVID levy no one was that video no okay mame hwe there mame me hwe se me hu ha no mo anaka ya bought the audio version on that. Okay, I think say enoni. And yen share taxes na John Mahama eyifi near had there.
This is the electronic transfer levy repeal bill. That's the famous e-levy bill. I'll proceed to sign it. I've just given assent to the repeal of the famous e-levy bill. Now this is the Income Tax Amendment Bill 2025 to remove withholding tax on winnings from lottery, betting, and games of chance. This is the famous betting tax repeal bill. So betting tax is gone. This is the emissions tax repeal bill. So emissions levy is gone. This is the earmark funds capping and realignment bill. This is the bill that caps the GET fund and national health insurance levy and moves those resources into the consolidated fund. We promise that we'll take the capping off, we'll uncap them. So the earmark funds capping and realignment amendment bill has been assented to. This is the Public Financial Management Amendment Bill 2025. This bill is a very important bill because it will stop some of the recklessness that was exhibited under the past government. It sets a target of GDP to debt ratio of 45% by the year 2034, and that will be the ceiling, 45%. No finance minister can come and borrow us to 104% like we've seen. Public Procurement Amendment Bill 2025. Now, this is a very important amendment. Agreements and contracts are not to be signed if they've not been given a commencement certificate by the Ministry of Finance. This affected only ministries. Now it has been amended to include the Public Procurement Authority. Now, this is the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill. This bill seeks to remove VAT on insurance. And so we promise the drivers that we'll take off VAT from insurance. Because when they pay insurance, they have to pay VAT on it. And they add it to their cost and use it to increase lorry fares. So VAT on insurance is repealed. And this one is the Petroleum Revenue Management Amendment Bill. This bill is important because it allows us to fulfill the Big Push program for infrastructure. The petroleum annual budget funding amount of the petroleum revenue is meant for infrastructure, but in the past it has been used for all kinds of things. This consolidates it all under the Big Push for transformative infrastructural programs all over the country. So this will build our highways, this will build our roads, this will build our bridges and other important infrastructure, provide farmer service centers to give agricultural services to farmers and other such important projects. Okay, this is the Gold Board Act. This sets up the Gold Board that will streamline Ghana's gold sector, including our exports, to make sure that Ghana earns more value for money from our gold mining exports. This is the Growth and Sustainability Levy Amendment Act. It increases the growth and sustainability levy from 1% to 2%. It ensures that Ghana makes more money from its mineral exports. This is the Energy Sector Levies Act. This act consolidates several levies in the energy sector, including the Price Stabilization Levy, the Sanitation and Pollution Levy, and several other such levies into one. And it will go to pay off our energy sector debt, which, as you know, stands at about 2.2 billion. This will yield about 10 billion cedis every year. Promises delivered.
Okay, point number 5, and you call you say you verify, so that we will say source ni authentic. Among those items are a coin, but some beam. So number 5, no. So within my first 90 days in office, scrap the following draconian taxes to alleviate hardships and ease the high cost of doing business. E-levy is gone. 10% levy on bet winnings is gone. And emissions levy too is gone. But COVID levy, you should have bought tape no more. So last time Papa no sent it to Sabills in Parliament 4 years and what the coin in E-levy was not part. And near no kind in E-levy and Cahobium. Hey, if I'm saying COVID levy, yes. E-levy the co. E-levy co. COVID levy na make 1.7. COVID levy and na make 1.7. Eti and also so and no. Then point number 6 and it said within my first 90 days in office, review taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported into the country for industrial and agricultural purposes. And also my okay, 1 year. Okay. Eti abana bibi abako dia.
Nyame adom kwesi.
Who say Odenkrataba.
Say 120 days ni di anya so.
Yes.
Na document ni ya kipisa na ye shim. Inti 120 na so de was say ye juma. Na yenhwe say promises na omampanya ye no with this one say ondi so. Inti na ye juma.
Okay. Eti you review wo paper na kakra so far on pointers na o de aba no. And one bem say ewo the original document no.
Yeah.
Eti ya hwe you do
0.6
0.6 in the OCCI.
0.6 no me nya hwe like Nothing has been done in that direction.
Okay.
I've not seen me information on that.
Okay. It's from 1 to 6, no.
0.5 no na COVID levy no efim.
Okay.
But don't forget that the Minister for Finance promised
yes.
COVID levy by mid-year budget review no will take COVID away.
Okay.
Because on say the COVID levy no can VAT no.
Okay.
And they are doing a reform of the VAT regime.
Okay.
And see yes I jumani nyina COVID levy will be taken out.
Okay. Okay.
And see.
I don't think I'm for now no
COVID levy no ewo.
But within the year now no.
Yeah.
Or also so obeko the baby. Yeah, 0.7 no. 0.7 no. Say comments drafting right?
Yeah.
Needed legal amendments and prepare for implementing the 24-hour economic policy under the office of the president.
In Tiendrana, me share information about number 7th point no.
Yes.
Me nyashwe quickly na me free presidency. But in your information from our sources within presidency, say oma drafty BBAW. Whatever the update is on this no.
Okay.
Echina, which is Wednesday. President Eba be brief the public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For 24-hour economy. No. Okay. And so case that document from some launch in July 1 nana. Because I
won't be able to tell.
Okay.
But Ochre say start drafting this point that says that commence drafting needed legal amendments and prepare for implementing a 24-hour economy under the office of the president. Draft no, are you ready?
Okay.
And see the next step after the drafting no, President Eba Bechere.
Okay, so from 1 to 7 no. No, yamfa nonka ne aye no.
Yeah.
1 to 7 no. Now
6
yamfa 0.6 no. Yeah, they are still special me boy. Okay. 1 to 7 no. Okay, see our first 7 no yeah. 6 over 7, right? Yeah, 6 over 7. Okay. Yanko the next page. Near her there. Okay, so point number 8 is establish an accelerated export development council. That is IDEC, right? To promote exports as part of broader strategy for economic transformation. And also so Enra Attic Green. Okay. Convene a national consultative conference on education to build consensus on needed improvements to the sector. And also
done on the 18th February.
And I'm
National Education Forum.
Okay.
On say on the 18th.
Okay.
Okay. But before then, no, call some selected regional capitals.
Okay.
Sensitization and some forum bimu answer. Yebeye kesi nankasa ewa.
Okay. Alaska mame ni ye hard Your 10 implement the no academic fee policy blah 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 and also so it's gone.
Yeah.
And also it's gone. Then 11 introduce the following social interventions. Okay, so free tertiary education for persons with disabilities and one abasudada. Then the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, that's Mama Cares.
Yes.
Okay, and also so Number 12, commence the distribution of free sanitary pads. And also it has been launched. And also Omaye. Okay. Yanko number 13 no. And then they are loaded. Number 13 is loaded. So institute enquiries, Alaska. I hope may read from Ohodom 13. Institutes enquiries and or forensic audits into the following matters of public interest: the collapse of indigenous Ghanaian banks and financial institutions at a supposed cost of 25 billion Ghana cedis. And only a number 1. Illegal printing of money. Okay, Bank of Ghana. Yes. The $58 million National Cathedral scandal. And also Kahon. Then illegal and inflated single-sourced contracts. COVID-19 expenditure scandal. PDS, Ajapa, SML, ambulance spare parts deal, 13th African Games, Skytrain, Pualugu Dam, Marsets, Galamsey fraud, missing excavators, and tricycles, Sputnik V, bust scandal, and many others.
And see, what we know is Skytrain.
Okay.
And know is in the public domain.
Okay.
Say, Attorney General Kasabeche said they are working on that document.
Okay.
But the rest, we don't have any, or we have just little information on the rest.
Okay.
But once I hear investigations, and most of the times, normally hear investigation on per se, almost detail.
Okay. And it take time so.
Almost detail. By the time we be no my betray say you do see.
Okay.
Ufa to say do boy hensia. No be any say omo investigation bia. Prepope na ba say omo investigation because of interference.
Okay.
So eka ho to avoid that. Enya fe na pain ba be fresh say anasese. So I am like enti e ho no. The obey any
Alaska page 2 no.
But I say
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also a 6 member.
Okay. Because of the way President Mahama is wild with his aura, no. No kasa when they share has say, Masa, I deal with no muncha na munye hu ejuma.
Okay, so
and Attorney General Babechere will say, Baku woman was started.
And a maset and so mem so can was him.
Okay, maset.
Yeah, okay, maset.
So it tells you that they are working on it, but I feel say I hear investigations no into me babonting and beka ho asem say we wo ye hu ejuma.
It now no almost started bibi ho.
Yeah.
It has been
work done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 106/6.
Okay.
Page 2 no. Yanko say for okay. Yanko for page 3 in your had here. 14. Institute a government policy banning political appointees from purchasing state assets and on NRA.
NRA code of conduct.
Okay. Allocate seed money for establishment of the Women's Development Bank.
So with the whole project.
And then me a national coordinator.
In the budget now my 51 million Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Seed money.
Okay. It is also why
passion.
Launch the following priority job creation programs in the first budget. Okay, Jumara program, a call 28 national apprenticeship, a call
30th,
and a 1 million coders.
16th April.
And also call 17. Commence the review of Customs Amendment Act Act 2020 to scrap the law banning the importation of salvaged vehicles to rescue the local automotive industry at Swami, blah 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 blah. And also,
what commence?
Okay.
Commence, and then I should share like information on this. But Mikohuye say on the 16th of March, Minister for Trades. Elizabeth Ofosojari. Any friend saying Swami Magazine Industrial Development Organization META.
Okay.
That engagement is towards amendment of the law that bans. Yeah.
So the comments no. You don't comments. Yeah. I want to be as a message. I was also saying. I was going to say. Okay. So number 18 now. Lay before Parliament new